Hello, everybody. It's Louise, and if you've been reading my Substack, Soul Journey, you'll have got a little feel of how I speak and how I talk, how I present things. And so today I'm doing a little bit of a face-to-face one, so you can actually see who is behind the typewriter or the keyboard or whatever it is that you want to call it. God, typewriter, geez, I remember being in college as a 16, 17-year-old, and that's a long time ago. And I remember learning my typing and being in front of the typewriter, and we were allowed to have pencil and a scrapbook and a rubber or an eraser and yeah, that sort of stuff while we were there. And I had this terrible habit of, in the mouth, and I'm typing, and I'd see something, and I would make I'd make a note, or I would circle it on the paper because I needed to go back and correct it. And I'm like that, see? And the next minute, my tutor comes up next to me, and she's like, Louise, that's just not what a lady does. You don't have a pencil in your mouth when you're a secretary for a CEO or a manager or da-da-da-da-da. And I remember thinking at that time, like, oh my God, if somebody's going to tell me what I can and can't be and how I can present myself and how I can actually function and work to the best of my ability to give them the best result, do I actually want to do this? Do I want to be like that? And I remember that's probably the moment I decided over and again, I don't want to be a secretary. I don't want to be a personal assistant. I don't want to do all of this. I want to be a hands-on individual that works with things and works with people, that is able to be in that sort of mode. I mean, as historically, I was more of a PA and a personal assistant, and I did become more connected in the secretarial state and blah, blah, blah. Yes, that was how I created my abundance at that time. But I've been thinking about it, and I was like, I've been going through, what are the blocks? What are the things that I've set up in my own life as to why I might be at times in deficiency or overabundance or ticking on by, just like I've written in one of my posts, in fact the one that should be coming out midday today, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So for some of you that'll be midnight, or it could be early tomorrow morning, but forgive me, I live in Australia and I use my timing. And I did think about it, on that matter. I did think about what is the best time for the rest of the world. And then I thought, but if I put it out for the rest of the world, then those beautiful souls that have signed up to me here in Australia and are supporting me here in my home town and my home state and my home country, then they're being penalized in a manner of speaking. So forgive me, rest of the world. But I'd like to honor those who have honored me here in the country of Australia. And I just wanted to say, I want to say thank you anyway for everybody out there that is subscribed to me. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. If you're a paid subscriber, thank you. It just helps me do more of what I'm doing. If you're a founding member, Oath, you are absolutely out there. And that reminds me, those of you who are founding members, I will be reaching out shortly to fulfill what I stated that you would get as a founding member. And so watch out for a personal email or a personal contact from me to you regarding channeling or light language, tune-up, etc., etc. We will get through that. I have not forgotten. I am so grateful for you committing to that annual sort of founding membership thing. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about, huh? So here we are. I find myself sometimes in a place of ticking along. Life's just ticking along. It's just going and doing what it does. And then all of a sudden there's this glitch, there's this bump in the road. And that bump in the road, 9 times out of 10, is either something that brings my attention to lack, or it's an argument, or it's not always such a great thing that happens, this bump in the road. Because let's face it, if it was a beautiful thing, if it was something that just came and flowed and it created a result of great wonderment, we wouldn't call it a bump in the road. We would call it a gift. We would call it an unwrapping. We would say this wonderful thing happened and it just blah, 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 blah. But when we refer to a bump in the road in our lives, it means that something's happened and we've had to stop. We've had to look at it. We've had to deal with the issue. And, so here it is. I've been dealing with issues. And this is the wonderful thing that, and I must admit, people that turn around to me and say that they've got it all together now, I tend to look at them and I go, okay. And I watch them, I observe them, because there are some, believe me, there are some out there that have gone through the process. They've integrated their aspects. They've healed their trauma. They've released themselves from the past, which is what I'm aiming to do for myself personally. And sharing that through the soul journey, I'm hoping to connect with like-minded beings who say, Lou, I need help. I need to know how you did what you did, and I can walk them through that. I've got gifts. I've got things that I do for people through energy and spirit, etc., etc. But there's times where I reach out to others who have done the journey and they have achieved where I want to be. So I reach out to them. And the wonderful thing is when we do that with an attitude of openness. When that bump comes, when things are revealed to us, that bump no longer is scary. That bump is no longer, how do I put this, the boogeyman. All right? What we do is we suddenly look at this bump and we go, well, yes. And let's just take something that might be one of the top couple of things for people listening. And that is 9 times out of 10, it could be finance, or it could be healing. It could be something personal in their lives, all right? So you're struggling with this thing, and you've managed to keep everything at a status quo for a period of time, and then all of a sudden it's bang, it pops up, and you really have to look at it. And so I reach out to people who have gone through, as I say, what I'm going through. I pick their brains, I talk to them, I say, how did you overcome? What did you do to release yourself from that? And it's by listening to what other people say. Now remember, when you read what other people say, when you listen to what other people say, you don't have to take it as gospel, guys. All right? You take what resonates. You take what sits in your energy and in your soul and in your spirit, and it goes, yes, I can work with this. Yes, this is for me. Now, when that happens, write it down. Lock it away in your memories. Seal it in a place where you're not going to forget. Listen to your heart. Listen to what it is that you know is right for you. And when we're in this place, we then start to heal ourselves. We start to unpack the bump in the road. We go ask ourselves, well, I do, okay? I ask myself, why is the bump here? Okay, the bump's here to bring my attention to the fact that maybe my thought pattern is not exactly what I want it to be. Maybe I've allowed some doubt to come in over this particular scenario. So I have to sit there and I have to go through my thought pattern. I have to sift through it like a baker sifting flour to see if there's any bumps and lumps and weevils or whatever, things that shouldn't be in the flour, to remove them so that when the baker is cooking with that flour and baking with that flour, it's just pure flour, right? There's no additives. It's like what we do is we have to sift through our thoughts. We have to sift through them and remove those moth eggs, those coagulated or hard matted pieces that have just come on and just evolved because of dampness or something. We need to remove those bits that are not serving us. And sometimes that's hard. And sometimes they're actually what I refer to as aspects. They're not just thoughts I mean, they are thoughts, but they're aspects. They're parts of myself, like little shards, little splinters of myself that have come from past experiences, come from a time when I lived a different life, different timeline. And it's come back to me to remind me, hey, I protected you in this place. I helped you in this place. I made sure that this and this and this didn't occur to you. And I'm back to do my job. Except its job now is creating a negative impact to me. It's creating something I don't want. But this aspect, this thought pattern, this belief system thinks it's still doing its job. Excuse me, I'm enjoying my coffee. Oh, and if you can hear like a whining sound in the background, this is me, real time. I've got a vacuum, sort of going around the house cleaning up and all the rest of it. So it might make a noise. But back to the subject. Now, as we go on, and as we look at what we're unpacking, we might find that, well, for me, let me just talk about me. I might find that I've got a fear about what is actually unfolding in front of me. And that bump in the road, that fear pops up and goes, hey, remember, the last time you attempted this, you fell flat on your face. The last time you attempted this, you gave and gave and gave and gave and gave, and you offered this and you did this and you discounted that and you sold out here. And when I say sold out, it's like I didn't charge and I didn't honor myself. Remember that. And you still didn't make it. You still failed at what you did. So why are you doing it again in this lifetime? And then another thought will come and say, yes, but if you don't try, you'll never succeed. And then another thought comes and says, yeah, come on, who do you think you are, really? I mean, let's face it. Everybody out there, they've got it better than you. They've got a better website. They've got a better writing system. They're not dyslexic. They've got their spelling in order. They've done this. They look at their imagery. They've got it together, Lou. They've been doing this for years. And here you are. You've just started out and you expect to succeed. All of these self-doubt things come out to me, right? And I sit there sometimes and I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then I remember, I'm doing this because it's my passion. I'm doing this because I actually believe deep down inside of me that when I'm helping other people, when I'm guiding other people through meditation, through energy healing, channeling, doing Akashic transmissions, or even just giving them 20 minutes of my time for free and listening to their confusion as to what do I need to do with myself? Should I do this or this or this or this? And being able to help them at that level and just let them speak so that they go, oh, shoot, I need to do this, or shoot, I need to do that. And I might not always be the right fit for somebody. And if I'm not, I will always be honest and say, I don't know if we're a right fit. Because, sometimes, yes, I can help you in your situation, but maybe our energies are unsuited. And it would be false of me. It would be incorrect of me to say, yeah, I can help you. But your energy is blocked by something. It's like a jarring, or my energy can't get to you because there's this wall that somehow is between us and we don't know why. So we have to get rid of that wall before there can be a free flow of energy. So this is why I take time out with people before I offer them a service. And that's a free minute. 20-minute free conversation. And sometimes my wife, Heather, will do that, a 20-minute conversation, because she's very, very astute. She can read your energy and she can read my energy and she can see if it's a good fit. And she's very truthful. And she'll say, nah, yes, we can help you, but I don't know if Louise is the right person because of the way that she presents. It might be too confronting for you. The energies that she deals with, they could be too on point for you, and maybe you need somebody that's gentler, or maybe you do need that, as I call it, the wet fish slap, that wake up, this is what needs to happen. I don't know, but I'll never know until we communicate. So this is how I deal with it. Things go and they pop up and this bump of the road, and it's just like, sometimes it gets me down, man. It's like, I will be a sourpuss. It's just like, what the blazes? I've been working on this, and I mean, look at this. I've got sheets here of how to present and let you guys know all about aspect integration. I've got my notes here about the 9/9 event that I'm doing on the 9th of September at 9 o'clock in the morning here in Eastern Australian time, and again, it's like, how do I get this out to you guys? Because the bump in the road for me is, why would you listen to me? Why would you read my books? My books. Why would you read my Substack? What makes me so different? And I have to keep coming back to the fact, it's my passion. My passion is to help. My passion is to serve. My passion is to say, hey, world out there, I am a voice. And my voice is this. And if my voice, my connection can help you get through that bump in the road that you're sitting on right now and don't know how to negotiate, then maybe let's connect. Maybe I can get you over that. And if that's the only time I ever connect with you, then that's what the universe wanted for us. But if there's other things I can help you with, then that's fantastic. I'm not always about the almighty dollar. Yes, it helps me. Yes, it pays my bills. Yes, the almighty dollar is not as almighty as what it thinks it is. Believe me, there is a higher power than that. But, again, it's like when I do talk about this, I get so uncomfortable talking about it. There's a community out there. Let me just say, there's a community out there that truly and honestly believes that everything that a spiritual person does should be for free, because it's spirit. It's from the universe. It's for everyone. And you're right. It should be. It should be easily accessible for everyone. But the question I have to ask is, if it's that easily accessible, why aren't you accessing it? Why aren't you sitting in your chair and going, I've got a bump in my road, this is how I deal with it. I've got lack in financial areas, this is how I'm dealing with it. By not putting myself in debt, by not feeling sorry for myself, by not getting down and into debt and all the rest of it, but actually dealing with it in a very spiritual and downloaded and coded manner, okay? And you see, not everybody is at the place where they can tap into that. But there are some of us that can. And there is a large number. So I'm one of many that is able to tap into the different avenues from the divine creator to bring this information and present it. But it takes time. It takes my energy, my life force. And all I say to others is like, I've done this, I'm working with this, I'm creating with this, and I want to share it with you, but I'd like an exchange. And there's some out there that are so honorable, they'll go over and above what I suggest, what I ask for. They'll go, no, it's worth more than this. And they boom. And you know what I see in their lives? I see abundance, I see health, I see everything unlocking. And they just go from level to level to level to level to level to level to level. And sometimes they exceed where I'm at. They take over and they're gone in as much as the areas that they're working in. And then they'll come back to me and they'll say, hey, Lou, I need some more help in this. And I sit there and I go, dude, do you not know how much further you are along in this particular way? Can you not see that you're further than me? I need your help. And I will talk to them about stuff. And sometimes it's like, all right, I'll bring the answers for you on this situation, but you teach me how you did this. And so we have this co-creational moment, or collab as people, they cooperate with each other. And so there's always an exchange. There's always an exchange, because I've noted, and this is very, very true, and I've seen it in myself, guys. I'm talking about me. When I see something that's given for free, I go, oh, that's fantastic. I download it, I maybe read through it once, and I save it. And 6 years later, I go through my stuff, and I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, I remember that. Goodness. Oops, I better read it again. But it's so old energy now that it doesn't really affect me today. But if I had listened to it, if I'd read it, if I'd actually used it back at that time, I probably would have been further down the road than where I was when I refound it. But when I put my hand in my pocket and I shackle out a little bit, and now I've exchanged value for value, I don't just save it and forget it. I read it. I work on it. I print it out. I put it on my desk, and I'm like, I listen to that meditation. I do what I need to do, and I allow it to sink deep into me. And so when I come to that bump in the road, I've now got, unbeknownst to me, because I've been diligent in gaining knowledge from different teachers, from different leaders, from different people that have got more in an area than I do. When that bump comes in the road, I go, oh, hang on, wait a minute. Yeah, this I can use this and I can use this. So when that self-doubt comes up and says, remember what happened last time? When you did this, you fell on your face. You didn't ask for this, and you just gave that, and you just let people walk all over you, and you became a doormat in the energy, and blah, 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 and negative, 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 negative. And now I go, well, actually, I've learnt my lesson. I know how to ask. I know how to say no. I know how to work with this and work with that. And I'm not perfect. And you know what? If I see somebody really is in dire straits and truly has no means at this particular moment, I make a pact with them. I say, okay, look, let's have an agreement. You want me to help you overcome this. Well, let's have an agreement. You give me a promissory note that when you make it, when you break through this, that you will give me this on your promissory note. You give me the figure. You pull a figure down and you put that down and you let me hold it. So that when you make it, I can present you the promissory note and we can have that exchange. And you know how many people, not many people have taken me up on that. They've gone, oh, there's a trick here, and they've backed away from me. But there've been those who have done it. And I've watched them grow. And I've watched them grow. And we've worked and tweaked and we've done, and they've grown. And we've worked and tweaked and we've grown. And I've learned things for myself in helping people like that. And this is the wonderful thing, is when somebody comes to you with an open heart and says, help me in the area that you've done, that you've overcome. I go, okay. We work on it, and I learn more about myself. They learn about themselves. We learn about each other. They learn how to grow. They learn how to take authority in their own life, how to become self-mastered. And then I let them leave me. I don't hold on to them, because if I hold on to them, I'm suffocating them. They've got to learn to walk on their own. And they can fall down, but here's the key. If they fall and get up, you know what? I go, yeah, they've learned something. Yes. And if they fall and they get up again, I go, yes, they're learning again. But if they fall and stay down, I look at myself and I go, what did I miss? What did I miss that they didn't get? Maybe I need to reconnect in a different way and show them how to get back up again. You see, not every teacher is a magician that goes, and you are now perfect. I can bring you all of the components for the magic spell, so to speak, okay? And I can tell you what to put in the cauldron, at what time, in what order, etc., etc., etc. But unless you actually get the the cauldron, unless you actually get it and you sprinkle the fairy dust and you put the herbs in and you do and then you stir it as it's being heated up, and then if you don't take the cauldron juice and you don't actually take action on what it is that you're learning, the question is, what are you actually doing? Why are you there? And it's not just with me, it's with anybody. Seriously, guys. If you're not going to take action and activate inside of you what it is that you're taking hold of what it is that you're learning, why are you learning it? Why are you spending time learning it? Why are you spending time listening to somebody? Yeah, and I can just see you all going ding, 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 trying to turn this off now. That's fine. It's fine. I'm always here. I've done it myself. I've gone, oh, fuck, what are you talking about? Click. I've got all uncomfortable in myself. And it's just like, what is she talking about? What's he talking about? How dare he say that about me? And that's the trigger. That's the aspect that goes, they can't talk to me like that. How dare they? I can because I've been there. I can because that you're me in another time. And here's another weird and wonderful thing. And this might freak a few people out. And other people might go, I get ya. What if I was to say that you are me, I am you, we are the divine creator, we are the shards of light that have been shattered and scattered all over the world, or this realm, I prefer to call it a realm. And we are experiencing different experiences of life, so that when we are called back through the ascension calling and the journey of ascension, that our experiences, the individual experiences that we have, when they're put back together, create this huge image, this huge portrait. And the divine goes, this is what life is all about. This is what experience is all about. And so I'm talking to another part of myself, and you are listening to another part of yourself. We are mirroring each other. We are reflecting to each other the very truth of our soul. And you may look completely different to me. You may have long hair or short hair. You may not have any hair. You may be a different color to me. You may be a different sex to me. You may be a different shape to me. You may sound differently. You may be, I don't know, different. But the wonderful thing is, we're all experiencing this life, and we're all spirit. We are a soul in a body, and the body is just a spacesuit that gets us from A to B while we're here on this realm. It helps us negotiate and communicate to each other. And so when the bumps in the road and when the issues of life come up, this is when we find those other parts of ourselves and we go, all right, you've done it. Now show this part of you how to get over it. But here's another weird thing. We're interdimensional as well. So if we're interdimensional, that means I can access a different dimension of myself in a different timeline that succeeded so well that I can actually say to her, oh, or him, because really, spirit has no sex whatsoever. Spirit is just spirit that lives inside a different body. I can go, oi, Lou in another dimension, how did you do this? How did you get over it? What did you do? And believe me, I've done it. And sometimes I've had some pretty hard words spoken to me. Like recently, I was like just tapping into my future self. And I said, how did you get to where you were? What did you do? You know what they said to me? And I have to, hands up here, I'm a little bit of an addict on these sort of games, like, sort of the sort of like 3-in-1, you do the patterns and you explode bricks and all the rest of it, like Tetris and all sorts of different. I'm a time waster with that, all right? And I'm sort of like in this meditative state, and I'm like, I'm looking for something profound. And my future self just looks me square in the eye and says, stop wasting time on the games. Get rid of the games. Start focusing on your meditation. Start bringing through the meditations that others need to hear. So stop wasting time and actually be present. And then it left. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, going, what the heck? Excuse me. That's how I de-stress. And then I suddenly realized, what have I just done? I've made an excuse for something that does distract me. And yeah, I do diffuse, but my intent is I'm going to go on for like 2 or 3 games. And an hour later, I can still be playing that game because I'm distracted, because my mind has become coded into the flashing gadgets and digits. And I've become so absorbed in something that has taken my energy and my focus away from my passion. And it's pulled me in a completely different place. And that is not good for me. So games, delete, 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 delete. Now I have to be strong on other things that would try to distract me. How many of us doom scroll? I have to put in protocols to stop me from doom scrolling. I can't afford to take all the YouTube and the Facebook and the TikTok and the platforms that I use. I can't afford to delete those because I use them. But I can put protocols in so that if I'm spending too much time on them, I get a warning. I get a, hey, get off this. And sometimes that's by putting an alarm on my phone, a 5-minute alarm, so it brings me back. Sometimes it's a case of like just choosing not to do that. Okay, all right, I'm putting this up. I'm putting this image up, this photo up, this little video up, and then I'm walking away. And this is how I deal with bumps in the road. When my energy, when my life comes to a point where I'm bumping more than I'm flowing, I have to look at what I'm allowing my energy to connect to. Am I being diligent with my time? Am I being diligent with what I know? Am I being diligent with my future? And I use the word future because I don't believe in the future. There is no tomorrow and there is no yesterday. Because if there was, I would be in the tomorrow and I'd be in the yesterday, but I'm not. I'm in the now. I'm present. I'm here. Okay? I can dream about what I would like tomorrow, but that tomorrow never eventuates. It's always like that fly you can never catch. And the past is just memories, dudes. It's just something out there. And let's face it, when you really think about a memory and you focus on it and you bring it into the present moment and you sort of like really envision, and your imagination brings back the smells and the sounds and the taste, where are you? You're present. You're present remembering it. So there is no past in that manner. Yes, you have memories. Yes, you have things that have happened from point A to point B. But in reality, we're all present and we need to deal with what's happening now. We cannot blame the past. We have to go, okay, yes, maybe certain events happen in our life that have molded us to be who we are today. But today, I choose every moment to be this individual, right? To be this woman. So if I don't like who this woman is, I have to make a choice today, right now, not to be that woman, all right? Not to be that energy, not to be that, or that, whatever it is that's bugging me at that time. Because I can't wait for tomorrow to come to make a new choice, and I can't go back to yesterday to change whatever happened yesterday or yesteryear. I can only change what's happening now. So how do I do that? Well, this is where the aspects are, where they come in and they trigger you from past lives and all the things, and even past moments of our existence. And they go, you failed. And yes, you might have done that in that time, but are you failing now? Because right now, I can make a choice that I'm not failing. I can make a choice that I am successful. I can make a choice. And you see, when we do this and when we actually feel it right here, man, when we go inside and we allow ourselves to truly be in that now moment, in that now essence, it's like something turns on inside of me. I feel it. And when I think about what am I? And I go, well, I am a success. I succeed in what I do. Right now, I'm succeeding by putting myself in front of a camera and speaking from my heart. That's a success. I am a success because I've taken stands and choices today to be who I am. I am in the flow. I'm in the flow of energy and joy. I'm in the flow of abundance. I'm in the flow of allowing the flow of the universe to come through me, into me, and out of me, that as it leaves me and leaves the gifts that are for me, it can take gifts to other people. I am right here, right now, in the best possible place for me. And when we realize that every moment of our day is something that we can tap into as the best possible moment of this day for us right now, and we can change things right now, every moment we come to a block, we go, hang on, I can change that. I can unblock the block by changing the way I think, the way I look at it. I can step back. I can become the observer. I mean, I have this. This is my board, and I have it written up here because I don't know if you can read it, but I'll read it out to you. It says, "Restart my day at any moment," and then I've got in a conversation how well my books are selling, how organic the contact, the contact and bookings are with the clients, how incredible my connection to my divine center is, how healthy I am in the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical state. I am joyful, peaceful, and have a great sense of humor. I love myself and I love my wife. Now I have that written on my board, and I have it on my table there, and I look at it every single day. Now, you can ask me, do I read it all the time? No, I don't. But I see it every day. I look at it, I see the words imprint through my eyes into my mind. There are times that I actually then do sit and I go, you know what? I'm having a shitty day. I really am. I'm having a shitty day. I'm going to restart. So sometimes I go back to my bedroom. Well, my wife's in my bedroom. I go back to the bedroom, I get on the bed, I close my eyes, and I yawn, and I stretch, and I roll over, and I go, morning, sweetheart. And I get out of, and I throw the blanket over my bed, off myself, put my feet on the floor, and I go, what a wonderful day. I'm excited. I'm excited for this day. And I get up and I walk out the bedroom door. I close it because I don't always want the dogs going in it. And I walk out, give my wife a hug, and I say, hey, sweetie, what a wonderful day. And she looks at me sometimes, and then she goes, okay. She twigs what I've done. And I go through the remainder of the day as it's brand new. I reset my inner clock. I reset my inner self. I reset myself because I'm the only one that can change me. I'm the only one that can actually make a difference to me. I have the knowledge that's been given to me by many other beautiful souls. I channel information for myself. I channel information for others. But what I do with that information is solely my responsibility. I cannot blame anyone that I've connected with that's given me information. I can't turn around to them and say, what you told me doesn't work. If I have not put it into action. I read the most heartbreaking statement from somebody. I was listening to some meditation, and I was just scrolling through the positive things that people had said about this affirmation that was being shared with us. And then I came to the statement where somebody said they'd been wishing for something for over 1,000 days. They'd been marking it off their calendar, waiting for this wish to occur. And everything inside of me went, oh, bugger. She has missed it, or he has missed it. They're wishing for something. Wishing is like blowing in air. It's, I wish. But when you actually believe something is going to happen, it accesses a different part of you. when you then begin to dream that belief, you see it happening, you create in your mind and in your imagination the event of how you want to be. Not the airy-fairy, one day this is going to happen, but it's now. This is what I do. I see myself on a platform, on a stage, and I'm talking to people. I see myself doing that. And at first I thought I was on a public stage, like, walking up some steps, speaking to people from a podium, walking down, sitting down, and then having people talking to me afterwards. But you see, that's not what actually happened in my life. But I am on a platform. I'm on a couple of platforms, and I'm talking to people, to many people. And they respond to me. They either direct message me or they email me. They put comments up on the YouTube, etc., etc. But I'm talking to people. So my vision is established. I activate it by doing something. And I still have room for more platforms because I make room. So guys, what I'm trying to say is when somebody says they're so sick and tired of the state of the wish fulfilled, they have to move out of wishing and activating. And that's what I want to leave you with is have a wish. Wish is good to begin with, but then have that wish drop into a knowing that this is something that you want. That when the bump comes, it's not just, oh, I wish the bump would go away. I'd wish this thing would stop happening to me. Make it stop happening. Deal with the bump. And if you don't know how to deal with the bump, then reach out to me. Send me a direct message. Comment on this and say, hey, how do I get in touch with you? Email me. Just reach out and say, I need help with this. How do I get through this bump? What do I need to do to, I don't know, to break through? How do I get healed? How do I heal myself? How do I release myself from this bleep, 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 bleep? Only you know what your bump is. My bump has been many things. My bump has been financial. My bump has been relationships. My bump has been family. My bump has been self-doubt. My bump has been so many things. My own health. I mean, like, I don't know if you can see, but I have a bit of a scar here. There we go. I've got a bit of a scar there. All right. When I was in my youth, sort of in the 20s, I had an operation when I was living in Zimbabwe, and I had my thyroid taken out because they said I had a cancerous thyroid. I had Graves' disease, for frick's sake. That was controllable. If they'd put me on the right diet and given me the right things, I could have still had my thyroid. Not altered my lifestyle, yeah, but no. So that's what happened. I had Graves' disease, and they said they had to cut it out because it was cancerous. Now, that meant I had to go on synthetic drugs. For a while, my body responded to the synthetic drugs because in the early days there was a good portion of natural products in the synthetic drugs because they hadn't really managed to get it completely how do I put this, fucked up. And then the more and more I went into it, and the more I took over the many years. Now remember, this is 2000, early 2000s. I had this cut out. So we race forward now to 2020, yeah, let's say 2020, into 2023, I've been taking synthetic drugs. My body becomes toxic. It becomes absolutely incredibly toxic to the point where it is affecting the way I think, feel, perceive. My brain is telling me stuff that is not true. I'm like thinking that my poor wife is saying things to me. And that's not true. Because I would say to her, why did you say that? She says, what did I say? I haven't said anything, but I was hearing things. I was hearing her say things to me. I was perceiving things. And eventually I found a doctor that listened to me. She took me off the synthetic, and she put me on natural, bovine or porcine thyroid tablets, okay? Now, I'm an energy healer. Why didn't I heal myself? Well, I was working with my energy and I was working with my thyroid. And I believe if I hadn't have been, I could have been a lot worse. And I since been on the natural stuff. I'm still working with my thyroid. I'm still working energetically with myself, and it is bringing me into a better place. To the point when my last blood tests came back, my doctor said, I don't know what you're doing, but everything's perfect. And it's not often I get to say that to a client. So I'm like going, I'm doing something right. I'm allowing the energy to flow through me in an energy way to bring the healing. So when I look at myself, I say I am healed. The bump of that ill health or that dis-ease in my body is becoming less. And so what I want you to see is that when I speak about bumps in the road, I deal with these bumps in the road. I am a living, breathing woman who has their own shit, man. I'm not perfect, but I'm damn near perfect. No, I'm not. I just know that I know how to deal with it, and I'm going to allow myself to work with you. I open up. Guys, if you would like help, if you would like to learn how to deal with the bumps in your road, contact me. If you'd like to learn how to deal with issues that bug the shite out of you, contact me. If I can help you, I will. If I can't, I will point you to people that I trust, and you can reach out to them. I've reached out to others to help me through hard things. There is no shame in doing that, because we are living organisms that need to work with others. We can't do this alone, guys. So the offer is there. If you would like help, I'm here. And I want to thank you for listening to me. I want to thank you for being part of my Substack, for being part of my TikTok, for being part of my Facebook, for being part of the YouTube, for whatever platform you're on. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you know what? Without you, although I have my passion, without you, I would be doing my passion with myself. But you make it all the more exciting, all the more worthwhile, all the more intriguing. And if you are available on the 9th of September at 9 o'clock Eastern Australian time, so that if you're sort of like in the sort of Nevada region, that's around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I know that in Europe and all the rest of it, it could be about midnight. But if you're able to tap in on that channeling, I'm going to be bringing through a transmission of a galactic nature about 999. Because if you take it, it's the 9th of September, which is 99. And then you might want to know where I get the third 9. Well, the third 9 is 2025. If you add up the numbers of 2025, you get a 9, which is, when you look at it, it's completion. It's 3 sets of 9, 3 sets of completion. It's 3 sets of coding. There's something unique and special with this. So I hope you can join me. And before I get rolling on that one, I will end this, and I hope you have a brilliant day wherever you are on this beautiful, beautiful realm of ours. If you have a good day, good night, good afternoon, hey, I'm here. Let's be friends.